The man bought a body and took it to the hospital. He was in a panic and begged the doctor to save him. The doctor examined the patient and found him dead, but the hospital didn't tell the family, because as long as they don't declare the patient dead, the family will think that there is still a way to save him, so they can make a lot of money. A doctor anxiously handed the man a drug list and told him to buy $50,000 worth of drugs. Then the nurse pretended to be nervous and walked into the room. Unexpectedly, the nurse returned the drugs to the pharmacy, so the hospital made $50,000, but they weren't satisfied with that. Another doctor came out and told the man that the patient's situation was urgent. He had to pay $500,000 for the operation as soon as possible. After hearing this, the man hurriedly paid for the operation. During the operation, doctors and nurses were anxiously going in and out of the operating room, as if they were really saving lives, but in fact, they were in the operating room discussing the issue of commission. Soon 8 hours had passed. The doctor had no choice but to come out of the operating room and announce that the patient had died. They did their best, but the next moment, the man took out a certificate from another hospital. It clearly states that the patient died yesterday. When the man yelled at them and asked what they had just done, a doctor was so scared that he grabbed the certificate and swallowed it. The man didn't panic when he saw this, because he had already prepared a backup. The doctors were in a panic. The man said the hospital must pay $500 million to compensate the victim's family, in order to prevent the hospital from being exposed. The hospital owner had no choice but to pay the compensation. After giving the money to the victims' families, he exposed the hospital to the media. Some of the people who had been victimized by the hospital learned about this. They directly surrounded the director of the hospital to demand compensation. They thought the hospital wouldn't dare to do anything wrong after this, but they didn't know that the boss behind the hospital was actually a local gangster. Thus began the battle between good and evil.